Hello, and welcome to this episode of Unscripted, an IICRC video production. Today, we're going to dig into the important journey of becoming and operating as an IICRC certified firm. Our guests today have taken advantage of the benefits that come with the certified firm designation, and we are going to explore their value and what you can and should do with the options in front of you as you continue to grow your company. So, welcome to today's program. Our four guests today are IICRC certified firms, successful business owners from all around the country. We're going to get their perspective on how being a certified firm is so important to them. And it's ladies first. Tina Williams is going to start us off.
Good afternoon. My name is Cortina Williams. I go by the name of Tina. I am the proud founder and CEO of Williams Professional Water Restoration Service, where our number one goal is to help you restore your world. We have been a certified firm for just maybe 4 or 5 months. Started in June, should have been one before then, but it's better late than never. Been in business since 2014. We are WRT certified. We're certified in fire and smoke, odor control, carpet cleaning, mold, trauma scene, crime scene. I'm also a certified licensed general contractor and a certified roofer and a biomedical waste transporter.
Maybe, Tina, I should have asked, what don't you do? That might have been a better question. So, very
Um,
good. Thank you for joining us. Let's go to Scott Tucker. Scott, introduce yourself. Tell us about your journey to become a certified firm as well.
Scott Tucker, 1312 Cleaning and Restoration, brand new to the ownership world. We opened up just barely 60 days ago and immediately applied for our certified firm. My son and I are the managing partners of the company. I've had my IICRC cert starting in like 2006. So it's always been an integral part of, my world as well as my son's. And then so literally when we were forming the business, it was the primary thing was we had to become a certified firm immediately.
So, you've got a background in cleaning and restoration, but your company's fairly new.
Yes, I've been in the industry since 2001. And then my son's been in for about 7 years now. He started just like I did, like pretty much right out of high school. He got in the industry.
Very good. I know Scott is a veteran cleaning and restoration professional because he's already been to Dunkin' Donuts today.
Uh,
Got his
Cheers.
coffee. Scott, I have to ask about your company name is unique, 1312.
Yes, so it's 1312 is Proverbs 1312, which has been a life verse of mine for a very long time. It's part of the tattoo on my arm that I've had for at least the last 7 years. And it's hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a dream fulfilled is the tree of life. So that's what we went with.
I like that. Very good. Very unique as well. Thank you for sharing your story. We'll get a few more questions to you in a moment. James Graber, let's talk to you.
Yeah, I thought we may be one of the newest ones on this, but I think Scott and I are probably neck and neck as far as the firm start date. My background is predominantly commercial real estate, but about 5 years ago, I was thrown into restoration. I moved to Dallas, and 13 days after I moved here, a tornado hit our house, and let's just say it was one of those. It was the most expensive damage in North Texas history from a natural disaster. And so it was a pretty sizable event. And due to that, tied in them with COVID about 6 months later, you can imagine that the road to recovery was about a 4 year stretch. And so in that, I saw a lot of the challenges, if you will, of the industry and how folks that weren't necessarily taken care of. And so that's really the thesis of starting their firm was bring in those that are not only certified but have that depth of experience. And so that's one of the requirements is we're bringing in our team. Our average team member's got about 20 years experience in the industry. I have my WRT and ASD, And then, of course, it was, important for us to be certified immediately. And really just that's accretive to our whole thesis of taking care of folks and building that public trust.
And next we have Eric Aguilar. Eric is with the Rapid team. Eric, tell us about your story and what you value about being a certified firm.
I am Eric Aguilar. Here in South Florida. I've been in the industry for restoration, in the restoration industry for now almost 20 years. We became certified firm when we found out about it. Got some great staff that communicated. It would have been a great idea. Back then, it was almost about 8 years since we became a certified firm. We got everybody that come in to our company as technicians to get all the possible certifications they can get, such as ASD, water restoration, mold. We are also trauma, cleanup. We don't do a lot of it, but we mainly do here is a lot of water restoration, a lot of mold, a lot of fire. We specialize really a lot in fires, and we also generate contracts. So here in South Florida, we pretty much offer turnkey service, and we also change storms. We've been in business, almost 10 years, but of course, prior to that, I worked with other major companies.
Now, Eric, I see on your shirt it says problem, but I think it probably says problem. Oh, there we go. Okay. I didn't want to say you are a problem solver. That's better.
Yes, I over the years I learned that every situation that comes across my desk, I am the CEO. I have I have few offices, but everybody has a problem and they all come to me. So my business card does not say manager, does not say CEO, anything like that. It just says I'm a problem solver, and I'm here to solve people's problem when they encounter water damage, when they encounter mold, and they encounter fire. Obviously, I'm actually have a company procedure that everybody needs to become certified in problem solving.
Well, I like that. Problem solving. Very good. Thank you for your story. Let's go back to Scott. And Scott, could you talk a little bit about the benefits of a certified firm? I know you're fairly new to the program, but what do you look forward to taking advantage of the most?
For me, the certified firm, like what it stands for to me is, being around and being IICRC certified for so long is the certified firm is that logo and that moniker is, it's a commitment to the ethics and the morals and a class and standard that we are committed to following. And I think that to me, it's something that we're very proud of. Is that, as a certified firm, it shows that we are going to follow the highest, moral and ethical standards to do things in a way that is, everybody in our company, you can guarantee that no matter what invoice we send out, we're not losing sleep or wondering who's going to be fighting it. Like, we know we did it correctly and we can stand by our work and our invoices.
James, how about you folks there? What do you use? What do you look forward to being a certified firm?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I definitely echo what Scott says. I think for me, it gives a tangible resource, right? So, in my background, I come from a very highly regulated industry with a lot of licensure. And when we don't have in Texas a lot of licensure tied to what we do here on the restoration side, it gives us a standard to point to. And, we split about 50-50 between residential and commercial, but I think in both sides, the expectation in my conversations with potential customers is that we are held accountable, right? And so we can point to a standard. Without that, we'd have nothing really to point to really say what we're held to. So it goes back to that whole thesis of look, it helps us build public trust. Our customers understand that, look, we're going to do it the same way another certified firm would do it or should do it, but we have a standard to point to. And that's been very helpful in getting folks real comfortable with, our approach.
And let's go to our problem solver, Eric, and ask him the same question. Eric, looking at a certified firm, the benefits, what do you look forward to the most?
creating a trust rapport with customers. Everybody that encounters a property damage, they don't know who to trust, who to believe. And by saying that, by telling them about industries, agencies or certified agencies that help educate our staff, obviously what the other gentleman mentioned in Texas, South Florida is also known for people want to take advantage of people, right? Or companies taking advantage of unknowledgeable people. And by utilizing the name IICRC, they don't even know what that is. They've never been in this issue. So when you tell them a little bit of brief, educating how people get trained, how to, and then everybody goes through that training, you build a trust. You pretty much gain, you're gaining their trust by educating them. Search IICRC, find out what a firm is. And then by us becoming certified firm and having the logo on our truck, utilizing the logos in some prints and all that, I think it just creates a little bit of higher trust, not only on Google reviews, not only on a reputable company, but also, that there are agencies that also regulate or give instructions on how to best perform work when it's needed. And also, to us, we mandatory tell people, if you're going to hire a next, technician, they got to go through these steps so everybody follows the same rules.
Nicely said. That's good information for everyone to look at. Your customers don't know what certain things are in the industry, but you can inform them and make that part of your marketing. Last but not least, Tina, talk about it. Talk to us about what you use, what you plan to use as a certified firm.
So to Eric's point and the other gentleman, in South Florida, it's horrible. And so being the it factor, as I call it, which is integrity and trust, is very important when you're building your customer base. And IICRC has a site that you can go and look up certified firms. And like Eric said, you explain what IICRC does. If IICRC is not the best in the training, the standards, webinars, benefits for the restoration cleaning industry, I'm not really sure who is. And here, as of late, government agencies, if you are getting into contracting, you have to be certified. IICRC companies or technicians in order to even qualify for the contracts. I believe it was Michigan that I heard the other day, they voted and it passed 55-0 that if you were going to do any remediation contracts that they had, you had to be IICRC certified. And so I'm all about processes and procedures and following the letter to the law. And so with the standards, you are taught what needs to happen, how it needs to happen, and when it needs to happen. So IICRC is the only way really to go. And like Eric said, when you have clients that aren't familiar and they want to feel comfortable, you do an education. And once you do an education and they can physically see something in writing, it's great.
Thank you, Tina. Yeah, that news we had on the Clean Fact site. Yeah, bravo for that, Eric says. Governments are taking notice, aren't they? Whether it's
Yes.
by city, by state, maybe federal. We just see it happening, and being on board and ahead of that is going to be smart business. So training and certification is valuable. Let's talk about specific business, marketing, or technical challenges that you face as business owners that your training with IICRC, your certification, has helped with. And let's start with Eric on this. Let's go to him. What do you think, Eric? What have you noticed? What have you experienced from IICRC that's helped?
I think it all comes down to it. I'm a big believer of there's no sales when someone needs assistance. I think it's all about educating the public. Trust is built on educating, and IICRC, since I got my first certification in 2006. It's all about educating. The more knowledge we know, the more confidence we have with our technicians and account managers. I don't have sales team. I have account managers. I have people that are knowledgeable, and they need to continuously get educated so they can educate the customers on what the steps of restoration should be. ISCRC, I mean, I wish IICRC, obviously there's OSHA, there's all the safety training. They don't talk about the safety, like, yes, when you do a mold assessment, not a mold assessment, when you do mold training and you're training your staff with, our staff with IFCSC, it's empowering them to have more knowledge. So actually educating a customer is just guiding them to what the best decision should be for every job. So I think people should know more about IICRC. Like Tina said, and I love it. I love the way she says this, like, just simply the government doesn't regulate, and obviously things got more difficult, but anybody can put a truck, 6 vans, throw some equipment, and they don't know if they're cross contaminated. They don't know a lot of things about restoration. They just leave. Unfortunately, restoration is only once in a lifetime or every 10 years where you have water damage and you don't know what to do. So I love the education that IICC provides, the constant training that we have to be in the webinars, and we have to be up to date with new technology, new information. But I believe in education is empowering the team that essentially just gains trust by our customers.
Well said. Well said. And since you mentioned Tina, let's go back to her and ask her the same thing. Tina, specific business challenges that you've overcome with IICRC help, technical challenge or marketing?
The customer, because they don't know what to do. They don't know what needs to happen. And sometimes they call when they're in a panic, and sometimes people, and it's a shame to say, but just like Eric said, they'll put a few DHUs or go to Home Depot and rent them and go look at a YouTube video and claim they're experts and go, not looking for microbial growth because you don't know what you don't know. And so you could be cross-contaminating the house because everybody knows you don't put fans where there's a presence of mold. You just don't. It blows it around. So to educate that customer and refer to the standards of IICRC, to show it to them in writing. And I always tell them, you don't have to pick me, but this is how the process should go. Whomever you choose to go with, they need to do A, B, C, and D in that order. Nothing more, nothing less. If they come in here and tell you that this has to happen and everything has to go, the flag should go up because that's not right. They're trying to line their pockets. Yes, we've got in this business to be monetary and to make money, but I got in it to help people. I consider myself blessed to be a blessing. And I believe that we're all put here on this earth to serve. And if I can help just one person, then I've done what I'm supposed to do.
I'm a believer now, that's for sure, Tina. Thank you for that. That was well said. James, what would you add to that?
Yeah, I mean there's a lot to agree with there, right? And I think I just echo that as well. I mean, I think it really is that going in, and when you're talking with a homeowner, the things that having gone through a tornado and the things that were not said, and I would learn them about 6 months later what I wish would have been said, earlier, and seeing, like I say, kind of the underbelly of the industry, if you will. Not necessarily people being nefarious, but they didn't know what they didn't know, right? So they couldn't tell me. And so at the time, I didn't know what the IICRC was, right? And so we definitely bring that out of, here are our standards. If we have a homeowner that pushes back a little bit on, hey, I want multiple quotes, I think I usually go the route of, look, we're all held to these standards. Let's get the water taken care of, and then for the reconstruction, we'll give you an estimate, and you're welcome to shop that around. But just know that as Tina was saying, like, look, the standards that we're going to be held to, any firm that you want to have come out here will be held to those standards as well, right? And so it really is, like I said, it just breeds that public trust for us to go out in the market and have that credibility.
So important that you have that trust, that's for sure. Scott, anything to add to that as well?
I think kind of the biggest thing I've picked up over the last couple of decades, and what I've really utilized the training and everything else for is, we as the professionals, we are the bridge. The vast majority of work we do is insurance related, and we have to deal with both sides, not only the customer, but also the insurance adjusters. And in my experience, some of the companies I've dealt with, it's always the insurance adjuster was your enemy. It was you fighting an insurance company. But the training and the certification, when we have the books to go on, is we are the bridge to not only educate the client, but in today's industry, we're educating adjusters. And I've got insurance adjusters who will call me to consult on other projects that I have nothing to do with, just to say, hey, what do you think about this? And we've developed that trust system, and knowing that every answer I give them, on a water job, it's going back to the S500. If when we're the bridge between the client and the insurance company, and we make sure everyone on both sides is, content with the situation, we become a valued asset to both parties.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. Last point I want to talk about today is those watching this program, thousands of other business owners. They might wonder, why should I do it? And if you want to help the industry, what you say next is powerful. Tina, let's start with you. If each of you could, for just about a minute, just tell us, talking to your peers, why should they become certified firms?
You should become a certified IICRC firm because of the level of standards that we are upheld to. It is important that your client is able to trust you. And as Scott just referred to, sometimes you're able to even educate insurance adjusters. I myself educate insurance adjusters. I educate the clients, and I am hired as an expert for attorneys in court if it comes to it because of my level of expertise through IICRC. There is another stream of income other than restoration, actually doing the physical work, using the knowledge and the expertise that you have gained from IICRC to become an expert, and you can name your price for that. There's enough money for everyone out here, but you need to do it, and you need to do it right by processes, procedures, and be conformed to the standards of IICRC. We are committed. We sign agreements when we become certified firms. This is something that we all need. States, cities, governments, federal, local, county, they're going to IICRC firms. So you want to get on board. Don't get left behind. Come join the rest. We are the best. IICRC certified firms.
James, I wouldn't want to follow that, but I'm going to ask you to do it. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you would say to being a certified firm?
Wow, Tina, you're knocking it out of the park. I would say, I'd keep it very basic, right? I mean, I think at the end of the day, if you want to be taken seriously in this industry, there are just basic requirements, right? And we all want to have a standard to point to keep our teams accountable for. Vast majority of this business and any business is accountability, right? This gives us something to point to and really to go to the market with. So I would say it's really a baseline for being in business in this industry, is something that you need to do. For all the reasons Tina mentioned, I think as well as Scott and Eric, there's just a plethora of reasons. But like I said, I think it's it's just the basic starting point, and I can't think of any reasons not to. So I think it's really a positive environment for us to be held to these standards.
Thank you, James. And Scott, what would you say? Anything to add to that?
Kind of tough to follow those guys, but I mean, essentially, I mean, I've been around for, like I said, a couple of decades in this, and what it boils down to is the IICRC is the gold standard in restoration. And if you're not going to be part of the gold standard, you're going to get left behind, kind of like Tina said. It's one of those things of, if you're going to be serious about educating yourself, your staff, as well as your clients, then you need to be able to speak from a point of true education and what the actual standards are. And if you're not a certified firm, you're not following the gold standard.
Very good. And Eric, bring it home for us. What would you add?
It's tough to beat that, but I think we're all not perfect, and I think creating the question is, why should others join IICRC Certified Firm? And I think what it will become, we will be part of a strong regulated, that it just narrows it down, and it will narrow down an open market that, like Tina said, and we said it before, we have to separate the knowledgeable, trained, qualified team versus the people that are going to get in trouble. They're performing the improper steps and procedures, where we and others watching us today making decisions and getting their company in general supporting the IICRC firms, certification firms. It'll just pretty much separate us. It'll create a separation from the mom and pops companies, or the people that they think that this business is easy. And we're not in the 2000s. We're not in the 2010s. We got technology. We got more AI. We got more. I mean, for today's day, people can go online and watch a bunch of videos, and people get nervous. So my end closing statement is IICRC. It just will continue to empower us and separate us from the people that are doing it wrong to doing it right, giving us a better position with insurance companies, with management companies, with homeowners who don't see these every day. But obviously, management companies, property manager, we are when you compare yourself with others and other people compare you, you stand out. You will stand out by having that IICRC certified firm, by showing that certificate, and it should give a knowledge to the public of what decisions they should be taking. So I think empowering, education, and separation from the people that don't want to do it and the people that we do it, like she says. Don't be the rest. Be the best with the IICRC firm, certified firm.
Don't be like the rest, be the best. I like that. Well, I want to thank all four of you for your time today. I know you're busy business owners. Scott's got to get back to Dunkin' Donuts for a second coffee. Or whatever we're going to be doing. But thank you for your time today, and look forward to meeting you in person at some event in the future. Thank you.